Hello BookTube, my name is Danica and today I'd like to talk about books for Harry Potter lovers. So as I mentioned in my introduction video, I'm going to LeakyCon at the end of the month, which is a Harry Potter convention, and I'm really excited about it. In order to get ready, I have been rereading the Harry Potter series, but I've also read a couple of Harry Potter criticism books, so I thought I would pass on my recommendations of some of my favorites. My first recommendation is Mark Reed's Harry Potter. If you haven't heard of the Mark Reed / Mark Watches empire, it all started with Mark Reed's Twilight, where, sorry Twilight fans, he basically tore the Twilight series apart chapter by chapter, and it was him reading it for the first time and chapter by chapter reactions to what happened. It got really popular, so we did Mark Reed's Harry Potter next. But as the chapters went on, he started to fall in love with it. And now he has the series of books in ebook format. They were originally just on his website. And as I've been rereading Harry Potter, I've been reading the Mark Reed. And it's really great for a Harry Potter lover, especially if you've read them multiple times, because it's his first reactions to the story, and it's like being able to read the series for the first time. And it's been so long since I read Harry Potter for the first time that I actually forgot what it felt like to not know what was going to happen next, not know how that piece fits into the puzzle later. And in these ebooks, as opposed to on the website, he has also included Mark rereads. So after he finished the whole series, he went back and reread it and did chapter by chapter reviews of what it's like in context. And those are also really great. That's, I would say, my main recommendation. If you like Harry Potter, and especially if you've read it over and over and over again, check out Mark Reed's Harry Potter. And he also does, like I said, Twilight. He's done The Hunger Games. He did Mark Watches Buffy. So if you like that idea, you should check out his websites, and he's going to be at LeakyCon. My next recommendation is like a little more abstract, and that's the Unwritten series. I actually recommend this series for any book lover. I think anyone who does BookTube, I would say, should pick up the Unwritten series, because it is a graphic novel for book lovers. It is all about stories and how the stories we tell change the world. And in the world of Unwritten, that's a really literal thing. There's a society that tries to control what stories are being told. But I say Harry Potter lovers especially because there is a series within Unwritten that's Tommy Taylor. So the main character in Unwritten is Tom Taylor. He's the son of a famous author who wrote the Tommy Taylor series, which is very much like Harry Potter. It's definitely a Harry Potter reference. And throughout the book, you get little kind of excerpts of Tommy Taylor that seem so much like Harry Potter. Throughout the Unwritten series, Tom Taylor slowly kind of starts to merge with the character of Tommy Taylor. Tommy Taylor has, a scar, and Tom Taylor starts to get the scar, and Tom Taylor had the smart female best friend and the wisecracking male best friend. And I had so much fun with this series. It's still going on. I'm still excited to keep going, and I really think you would enjoy it if you're a big Harry Potter fan. So those are my two big recommendations. Some of the other books I would recommend are Harry: A History by Melissa Anelli. She runs the Leaky Cauldron website, which is one of the big Harry Potter fan sites. Harry: A History is about the phenomenon of Harry Potter, the fandom, what it felt like to be reading the series before it's finished, and just the experience of running the Leaky Cauldron, actually meeting J.K. Rowling. And it's a little bit different from a lot of books that are just about the story itself, which is great. But it was the first one I read that really focused on the fan experience, and it was really fun to be able to read the story of the fandom from someone who was right in the middle of it. So I would definitely recommend Harry: A History. Some of the other ones that I have enjoyed, at least in part, I read the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook. I'm vegan, so I couldn't really use most of the recipes, but it's fun to get an idea if you want to do like a Harry Potter party. One of the criticism books I recently read was Harry Potter's Bookshelf, which is about the books that helped to inspire J.K. Rowling as she was writing Harry Potter, some of the books she's mentioned in interviews. The first half of the book I loved. It was really fascinating. It talked about Harry Potter as a mystery and how it follows the mystery conventions. It talked about Harry Potter as Gothic literature and was comparing it to things like Frankenstein. And it gave lots of insights by placing it in different contexts that I'd never thought about. I really recommend those parts. Towards the end, it got into Harry Potter's religious allegory, which is totally legitimate, but it dragged on for a while for me. John Granger also goes into a lot of depth about Harry Potter as alchemical literature, but it's really abstract, and I haven't read anything about alchemical literature before. Those parts I didn't enjoy as much. The second half, if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely go for it, but I wasn't particularly interested in it, honestly. One of the other Harry Potter books I have is What Will Happen in Harry Potter 7, which is pretty irrelevant now. But it's kind of funny because it has this whole chart of the odds of people dying in the 7th book, which in hindsight, pretty funny. Dobby, 100 to 1 odds, wouldn't die. Hedwig was pretty good odds. They wouldn't die either. Nope. But I really want to read the follow-up, which is Harry Potter Should Have Died. I actually have just requested it from the library. So this one and Harry Potter Should Have Died are by the creators of MuggleNet, which is the other big Harry Potter website, so they know what they're talking about. And those are my big recommendations for books for Harry Potter lovers, but I'd love to hear if there's anything you would recommend, preferably books that are actually talking about the series and not just read-alikes. Thanks for watching. Bye. If you haven't heard of Mark Oshiro, is that how you pronounce his name?